So here comes another important concept, and that's called SPA, I mean Structures and Building Allowance. That's basically a tax depreciation over structures and buildings. Because if you talk about plant and machinery, then plant and machinery is the setting, is an apparatus through which trade is conducted, and we calculate tax depreciation over plant and machinery, which is called as capital allowance. But when it comes to buildings, by buildings I mean to say, so any setting in which trade is conducted, that setting is said to be a structure or a building on which tax depreciation is also calculated. It is also considered as an allowable expenditure when we are calculating our adjusted profit, when we are converting our accounting profit into an adjusted one. But the tax depreciation that we do calculate on structures and buildings is not considered as capital allowance, rather it is called as structures and building allowance, in short SPA. So what you remember that capital allowances are calculated over straight line basis or reducing balance method. Yes, they were calculated on reducing balance basis or reducing balance method, but here in SPA it is calculated on straight line basis. Straight line allowance is given, so that would mean that in every period of account I need to consider the cost, and the rate of allowance is 3%. So 3% of the cost shall be written off in the form of structures and building allowance. But if 3% is said to be a structures and building allowance, then it would mean that there is a total life on which the building or the structure has to be depreciated is of 33 years and 4 months. So if a building is going to be depreciated in 33 years and 4 months, would mean that every year we have to calculate allowance at the rate of 3% over the cost of building. This concept was implemented on the new buildings, I mean on all those buildings which were constructed on or after 29th of October 2018. So any sort of structure or building which is being used in a business, which is being used in a trade, shall attract an SPA, shall attract an allowance at the rate of 3%. For example, when it comes to offices, retail and wholesale premises, factory premises, warehouses, they all qualify for structures and building allowance. But the land is never depreciated, and so is the case over here, that when it comes to the application of structure and building allowance, we will not be considering the cost associated with land, because it is like a normal part of a building used for dwelling purposes. And on the other hand, all the assets which are qualified as either plant or machinery shall attract capital allowances, so they are not going to consider it as far as SPA calculation is concerned. Similarly, any structural building which is going to qualify for SPA in turn will not be considered for the sake of calculation of capital allowances. So, which cost do we consider when we are calculating our SPA? If the building is purchased, then the purchase price is the relevant cost. And if the building has been constructed after 29th of October 2018, then construction cost is the relevant cost on which structures and building allowance will be calculated. Keep one thing in mind: whatsoever the expense we have incurred for the sake of supporting, erecting, constructing, making the structure, that is important. But any expense which is like a sort of administrative expense shall not be taken into account, as in any sort of legal fee, conveyancing fee, any expense that is incurred for the sake of getting a planning permission or anything else which is a sort of administrative fee. Though it is an important expense, but it shall not be considered as directly attributable cost as far as our tax depreciation on building is concerned, our SPA is concerned. So any structural cost shall be considered for the sake of calculating SPA. So much so, if we incur any expense in order to install a plant and machinery, considering this expense is supporting plant and machinery, so it would not be considered as a part of the cost of building or structure. Rather, it would be added to the cost of plant and machinery, on which capital allowances will be calculated. But yes, if any expense has been incurred on leveling the land, don't consider that this expense is related to land. This expense has been incurred on the land to support, to erect the building. So this expense has been incurred for erecting a structure, for developing a structure. So this expense is essential for the sake of constructing a building. So it does become a part of our building's cost, on which SPA will be calculated. By the way, unlike capital allowances, for which we apply a theme of full period charge in the period of purchase and none should be taken in the period of disposal, when it comes to SPA, it is calculated on usage basis. It is like time apportion on the basis for which we have used the building. So, from the day we brought the building or structure into the use of a trade, into a business use, that is the date from which we start calculating SPA. So SPA is only claimed from when the building or the structure is brought into qualifying use. By qualifying use, I mean to say that when the asset is brought into a use by a business, by a trade. So structure and building allowance is time apportioned for the period when first brought into use. I mean, for the period for which they have been used for the business purposes, according to the time period for which they've been used, SPA is calculated accordingly. Then, if we have got multiple buildings, then SPA has to be calculated on each building separately. I mean, we are not going to make a pool of the buildings to do the calculation. Let's quickly move towards. There you go. This is an example which has been taken from your Kaplan textbook. It says that Alicia had a new factory constructed during the year ended 31st of March 2023, and she started to use the factory in her business on 1st of May 2022. So see, when did she start using the factory for business purposes? On 1st of May 2022, those she makes accounts for the year ended 31st March. And the costs that she has incurred in relation to the factory are land, which is not qualifying for SPA. Factory building, yes, it is qualifying, of cost of worth 244,000. While the planning permission is also there, on which cost of £1,700 has been spent, but that's a sort of administrative cost which is not to be taken into account. Now we have to calculate SPA for her period of account, which ends on 31st March 2023. So she has made accounts from April 22 to 31st March 2023, in which she has got a building which is being used for qualifying purposes, on which SPA will be calculated. So what's the cost which is relevant over here? That's just 244,000, on which SPA will be charged at the rate of 3%. And as 3% is meant to be an allowance figure for the whole year, she has used the asset. She has in fact started using the asset for business purposes on 1st of May. So she technically has used the asset for just 11 out of 12 months. So I have to apportion this allowance. So I just need to see that what is an allowance figure for 11 months. So for 11 months, this allowance figure is of 6,710 pounds. Now, in order to understand this concept into more detail, let's consider one more example. By going through this example, many things will get cleared as well. So I hope you have read the question. It says that during the year ended 31st of March 2023, Alejandro incurred the following expenditure on a new factory constructed to use in his business. The land had cost £220,000. The leveling of building had cost £9,000. Factory building had cost £350,000, while planning permission had cost £2,000. The factory was brought into use on 1st of September 2022. Here you can see that there are two requirements associated with this question. The first requirement is that we have to calculate Alejandro's SPA for the year ended 31st of March 2023. So, though Alejandro has made accounts for the year ended 31st March 23, but he's starting using this asset on 1st of September. So, the allowance is going to be time apportioned on the basis of use. And one should consider that as far as the cost of land and planning permission is concerned, they are not to be taken as a part of our structures or building. But when it comes to leveling of land, which is of £9,000, and factory building is concerned, which is of £350,000, these two costs are relevant when it comes to the calculation of SPA. So let's quickly move towards the solution. So as you can see that Alejandro has made accounts from April 22 to March 23, and the cost that is relevant is of 350,000 in respect of building itself and 9,000 being the cost incurred for leveling purposes. So the cost is of £359,000 on which SPA is going to be charged at the rate of 3%. But as Alejandro has started using this building on 1st of September, so from September till March, which is like September, October, November, December, January, February, and March, he has used this building for business purposes for just 7 out of 12 months. So I'm just going to apportion this allowance. For 7 months, the allowance figure is going to be of £6282.5. So it's like £6,282.5. It's an allowance figure. This is an allowable expenditure which is deductible from trading profit in order to convert our accounting profit into an adjusted one. Okay, let's see what happens next. As you could see that in the second part, it is said that explain SPA implication for Alejandro and the buyer if the building is sold for £750,000 on 1st of December 2031. The buyer has got a different year accounting period. I mean to say they have their year end on 30th of November. So I'm just going to consider the SPA implication for both the seller, which is Alejandro, and the person who is going to get the building. And be very vigilant because a lot of new things are going to be taught over here. See, they did not ask that what has been the SPA after the first period till the period of disposal. But I'm just going to calculate it just for the sake of clarification, though it is not required in the question. So as you could see that the first period of Alejandro, which is the year ended 31st of March 2023, he kept on using the building for every next year in his trade. So I just want to tell you that how much had been his SPA for the successive periods. As far as part A is concerned, where he has made accounts for year ended 31st March 2023, and this is something which we have calculated before, his allowance had been 6282.5. And then he must have made accounts for year ended 31st March 2024. And for the whole period of account, he had been using the building for the business purposes. So he must have calculated SPA for the entire period. So cost of the building was 359,000. Allowance is being charged at the rate of 3%. And this is not to be time apportioned because in the next year, he is using the asset for complete 12 months. So that's going to be equal to 10,770. And then after this accounting period and next so many years, his allowance has been same. Why has been same? Because he had to calculate it on the cost. He had to calculate it on straight line basis where the allowance remains the streamlined. So when he made accounts for year ended 31st March 2025, cost into 3%, that had generated the same allowance figure of 10,770. Then for the next accounting period, which is ended on 31st of March 2026, his allowance had been same 10,770. For the next year, which came to an end on 31st of March 2027, then 31st March 28, then for year ended 31st March 29, and so much so for the year ended 31st March 2030 as well as for 31, this value has been same. So for every year he had been calculating the same allowance of 10,770, which had been his allowance, the tax depreciation over structure in building, and he kept on deducting it from his trading profit to convert accounting profit into an adjusted one. Here comes part B, where Alejandro has calculated his allowances once again for the last period when he made accounts from April 31 to March 32, because if you consider, then he sold this building on 1st of December 2031. So in the last period, he has not made a complete use of this building for the business purposes, but whatsoever the months for which he had used the building, I have to calculate his SPA. So from April till 1st of December, it's like April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and don't take December because on 1st of December, the building was sold. So he has made use of this building for business purposes for 8 months. Again, he will be considering the cost, which is £359,000, on which allowance is calculated at the rate of 3%, but that shall be apportioned according to the months for which he has used the building. That's for 8 months. So this would result into an allowance of £7,180. So even in the last period, Alejandro will be having an allowance of 7180. He will be deducting this allowance against his trading profit to convert his accounting profit into an adjusted one. But then it is also asked in the question that the person who is the buyer, they haven't mentioned the name of the buyer, but the buyer whose year ends on 30th of November, so his year must be running from December to November. What is his SPA for the first period of account? So as he has got the asset on December 31st, so his first period would be running from December 31 to November 32. So as he has made accounts for the year ended 30th November, that surely means that his accounting period shall have been started from 1st of December. But in the period from December to November, we need to see that what is his SPA, because this is his first period of account, and surprisingly he has purchased the asset right on the starting day of his period of account. Though in the question it is said that Alejandro has sold the building for £750,000, which technically means that buyer has purchased the building for £750,000, but the buyer will not be considering the price that he has paid for the sake of SPA purposes. Rather, he'll be considering the same cost of £359,000 on which Alejandro had been calculating the SPAs, the structure and building allowances. When it comes to structure and building allowance, HMRC says that the cost that has been registered for the first time for the sake of SPA calculation purposes shall be continued in future for the sake of having further SPAs, further calculation of SPAs. At the time of disposal of the building, whether it is sold for a lower value or a higher value, it is not going to change the cost for the other person for the sake of SPA purposes. So despite the fact the buyer has purchased £750,000, which is the true cost for him, but he will be considering £359,000 being the initial cost on which the building got registered for first time SPA calculation purposes. That is the cost which buyer shall continue in future for SPA calculations. and this is how he and any person to whom he is going to sell the building afterwards will continue with the same cost for structures and building allowance calculation purposes. So what's going to be the cost in his case? It is 359,000 pound. And how would he calculate the allowance? It is calculated at the rate of 3%. And see, according to his period of account, he has completely used this building for 12 months. So his allowance figure is of 10,770. Do you remember that few minutes ago I said that the building has got a complete life of 33 years and 4 months? So when did the building got started depreciating? I mean, when was the first point when the building was depreciated? That's basically the point when Alejandro had got this building on 1st of September 2022. Let's have a look at the question. Yes, Alejandro has first brought this building into use on 1st of September 22, and since then he had used the building for multiple years in his trade. So I just need to see that for how many years Alejandro has calculated his SPAs, I mean structure and building allowances. In the first period, he had used the building for the purpose of trade for 7 months. So 7 months SP calculation was done. Then 1 year, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then 8 complete years the building got used, and afterwards in the last period he had used this building for 8 months. So together 7 months in the first period, 8 years later completely, and then 8 months. Together, how many years and months he has used the building in trade? It's like 9 years and 3 months, for which Alejandro had used the building in his trade, and he kept on calculating SPA for 9 years and 3 months, though he calculated allowance for the first time for 7 months, then for complete 8 years, and then in the end for 8 months. But altogether, the life that has been expired at the point of disposal by Alejandro was of 9 years and 3 months. If it is asked in the question that what is the remaining useful life for the new person, for the buyer, then as you can see that on 1st of December 31, though it is like 33 years and 4 months, which is the complete useful life of the building, out of which Alejandro has used 9 years and 3 months. So we can say that before that, the new buyer would start making use of this building for business purposes. He had a remaining useful life of the building of 24 years and 1 month. So if the buyer will continue using the building for the rest of the life, then at maximum he will depreciate the building for the next 24 years and 1 month. I mean, the allowance that he can claim at maximum would be for 24 years and 1 month only, because out of 33 years and 4 months, Alejandro, the first owner, had already consumed and claimed allowances for 9 years and 3 months, which would leave what? It would be leaving only 24 years and 1 month to be taken as a useful life for the calculation of SPA for the next person. Plus, when Alejandro has sold the building We need to calculate capital gain on the disposal of building, which we will discuss later when CGT, I mean capital gains tax rules, will be discussed. But here, when the asset is disposed of and the structure of building is disposed of, there is no need to calculate either the balancing allowance or the balancing charge the way we do with capital allowance calculations. So not any such balancing adjustment is required as what we do in case of capital allowances. With structure and building allowance, when the building is sold, there is no need to make any balancing adjustment as far as SPA is concerned. But yes, as the building, as the non current asset is sold, we have to calculate capital gains, but that will be discussed later.